Irish Rover's already in the house. Thank you, my loyal friend and mod operator of operations. What a wild day it has been today. I just made it up. Mod operator of operations.
Sounds official.
Yeah, there you go, Irish Rover. It's all yours.
Give me a business card or something.
We are at the city council meeting, and I gotta go in here because I've gotta get the clerk to make a copy for everybody minus Joe Anderson. He doesn't get a copy because he doesn't count. Because remember, this is a big joke to him, and he's here just to put on a show for his friends. So if he wants this document, he can go do a records request for it. I'm providing it as a courtesy. But the clerk's not up there, so I don't know where she went. The clerk isn't up there. I need her to make a copy of this. Where's Pam? I'm gonna go talk to Pam for just a second. Do you want to hang on to this and just say hey?
Hey guys, what's going on? Oh look, we got Tamara Niles over there. Look, she's got a new hairdo. And like some new glasses too, I think. There's Sean Lewis. He never signed that administrative order that bans recording in any public facility yet, so I don't know why he didn't sign it. Look, there's Steve Ward. There's Noonan Camp. There's Tina Prang. Oh, look, there's the star, guys.
We're gonna make a copy of this.
Joe Anderson, the pastor. He's an all-star, guys. Did you guys see the last video that I did here, episode 8? It's got the most views of all the Englewood ones I've done. But Joe Anderson over there is saying, he's like laughing, and then he's like, I want to hit the auditors where it hurts, and you say, or I want to hit the so-called auditors where it hurts. Like, he made such a fool of himself. There's Kim Wright. We like her. She's very tall. I didn't know how tall she was. I think she's like 6'2".
Okay. Well,
Did you get the copies made?
Yeah, she's gonna make me copies, and everybody but Joe's getting a copy. She wouldn't. She told me that she wouldn't, because I told her she could just scan it and give everybody a copy except Joe, and she said she wouldn't do that. That it has to go to all city council. I said, well, that's not gonna work. She's like, okay, well, I guess we can just make copies for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that worked out good. So this is going to be an interesting public comment tonight, you guys. Following up on this city's inability to get their police department under control, it turns out that somebody, wasn't me, filed a complaint using my information to the Denver Police Department Internal Affairs, and It turns out they investigated it as if I filed the complaint. And it has to do with the case back in October with the homeless individual that was helping the other homeless woman. And they beat the hell out of the guy. And then they went over to Denver and made illegal entry into some residence, some random residence where they were sure they had found their suspect for the evening who had got away from them after they beat the hell out of him. So yeah, this is my second live stream of the day. I'm kind of surprised that I've got any viewers. Could you hand that to me, please? I'm sorry. That was my fault. Thank you. So the copy here is your complaint was received by the Denver Police Department's Internal Affairs Bureau on May 13th, 2024, and assigned to Sergeant Yida for follow-up investigation. No, I didn't file this complaint, so I don't know who did. It said, in your complaint, you state on October 16, 2023, at least 4 Denver police officers assisted Englewood police on illegal entry and illegal detainment. You also provide a statement from a DPD officer during the illegal entry. Quote, it's literally not my fault you don't have a door jamb, end quote. This case has been thoroughly investigated, and based upon the following facts, it's been declined for further disciplinary review. Denver cleared themselves right away. And then they list all these reasons why.
All right, everyone, we are now back. I call this meeting to order. If you're able to do so, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To the republic for which it stands.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
present.
Member Unicamp. Present. Member Crane. Present. Member Russell. Present. Member Ward.
Present.
Member Wright. Present. Mayor Sierra.
Present.
All members present.
Thank you. Consideration of minutes from the previous session. Any changes to the minutes from the regular city council meeting, July 15th?
Mayor, it's a clarification question. We voted last week to table an item until today's meeting, and I am not seeing that item on the agenda today.
The point of order, Mayor.
Yeah.
That is not the topic for the session.
Okay, so if it's on, well, and that's why I'm asking for point of clarification. If it's not on the agenda, how can we approve minutes?
So the-
Because it's incorrect.
Yeah, thank you, Member Wright. So you're right, the minutes are correct in terms of what is, for that item, there was, it was just left off of today's agenda. So that will be off our go on August 5th. But the minutes still are correct in terms of, we will look at that, at that second meeting today. So they're not, just on this stuff.
Okay, so even though we voted on something on today,
Correct. It just didn't make it on the inadvertently left off.
Yeah, but I don't know where,
Any other, potential issues on the
No.
minutes from last
that's not our.
Monday? If not, can I get a motion to approve the minutes for July 15th? Thank you, Member Nunekamp. Can I get a second?
second.
Thank you, Member Craig. Great. Can we vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Aye.
Member Unicamp. Aye. Member Crane. Aye. Member Russell. Aye. Member Ward.
Aye.
Member Wright. Aye. Mayor Sierra.
Aye.
Record shows 7 ayes.
Thank you. Moving on to appointment communication proclamation and recognition. I guess sustainability program manager is Englewood here to introduce the community business program coordinator, Elon.
Hello again, thank you, Mayor and City Council members. Melanie Lentz, Sustainability Program Manager. So in 2021, the state of Colorado passed the Plastic Pollution Reduction Act, which established a 10-cent fee for each plastic bag used at single-use stores in the state. 6 cents of the 10 went to local city governments to increase waste diversion in their So a hiring panel was convened consisting of representatives from Englewood, Sheridan, the state who worked in economic development, the state business program, community development, and sustainability. Aiden Lawton was the hiring panel's unanimous pick for this position due to his experience, passion, and professionalism. Originally from Colchester, England, Aiden received his bachelor's in international global studies at the University of Wyoming and his master's in business administration and corporate sustainability at Colorado State University. Aiden's family has a background in business operations. He's a Lean Six Sigma yellow belt, and to top it all off, he has a past volunteering and rehabilitating sea turtles in Greece, which I just think is the coolest thing. Aiden will be working within the city manager's office under the sustainability division. The program he'll oversee, the Sustainable Business Partnership Program, has already caught the attention of other municipalities due to the high community benefit and impact, as you'll see later tonight with the proposed IGA for the city of Littleton to join the program as well. Aiden's already hit the ground running in the short time he's been here meeting with key stakeholders of the Chamber of Commerce, internal departments, and businesses to discuss and advance the program. Staff and businesses are already thrilled and excited to see all the community benefit he and his program will provide. So I'm going to just introduce Aiden Lawton to the City Council.
Aiden, I know that you've only been here a short time, but I've already heard your name several times in communication with some of my constituents. So, really looking forward to what you will bring to the city. Thank you very much for your involvement, and looking forward to all the projects that you bring forward. So, yeah, welcome to the city.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're moving on to the next agenda. Or sorry, there's another. So we're also recognizing the 2024 City of Englewood Intern. I know a lot of you are here, so we're not going to gloss over that item. So 2024 is the second year that the city has held a comprehensive internship program with interns working in 12 departments across the city. Throughout the summer, these interns have participated in several programs to learn more about the city, such as listening to department presentations and taking a bus tour of the city. Additionally, the HR department provided interns with an orientation and training sessions on interview preparation and generative conflict. Interns have played critical roles in moving forward many key initiatives, such as conducting an employee survey on organizational culture and painting a mural to support beautification efforts. I've also seen them involved in many of the communications we've had with City Council. I'll let Sean kind of speak to some of the accomplishments or some of the bios for the interns. I have your certificate of recognition, so once Sean calls her name, if you wouldn't mind just taking a picture with me, or what are you taking pictures? No? Yeah. We have, I'm not sure who's taking pictures, so.
I'll do it after I do the
Oh,
names.
man, all right.
Multitasking.
All right, perfect, so I'll come up front and, yeah, take it away, Sean.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to tell you all what I told this group about 3 weeks ago, and that is that I think this is the best group of interns that we've had so far. I'll start with Ronald Tacoma. Ronald has worked with the police department. He's collaborated with the Victims Advocate intern for marketing materials, providing resources for victims of motor theft, and began a national night out marketing campaign. It's not in my notes, but I think he also has attended every neighborhood night. You could stay out, I can take a picture. Every neighborhood nights event that we've had, along with Crystal Essman. Jackson Higgins is the City Attorney's Office intern. He's analyzed and prepared PowerPoints and presentation on Bob's Rules of Order, presented at the City Council meeting, drafted several memos for City Council, and prepared a thorough analysis of all 483 new Colorado laws from the 2024 session, including recommending actions for city compliance. Audrey Klein, Public Works Department, has researched and designed new key control processes, including procedures and forms, worked with the Stormwater Division to design an infiltration stormwater facility, and completed a thorough review of Mile High Flood District criteria to design the facility to ensure that the capacity and treatment volume was adequate. Katie Lyon, Information Technology Department, closed 109 service desk requests on our help desk, assisted in conducting a laptop inventory, created solutions to assist with SOPs, and represented IT in all the intern activities and updated the team weekly on our IT operations meeting. Will Morris, City Manager's Office attorney, helped revise and improve Englewood's open data site, prepared several memos and presentations for City Council, and is now leading a Tri-City subcommittee, Tri-City's Homelessness Policy Committee subcommittee, group to analyze processes to streamline response to extreme weather events. He's also provided support to several sustainability and DEI projects. Samantha Samashima, Parks, Recreation, Library, and Golf Department, collaborated with 2 other interns to host a DEI lunch, Lunch and Learn, participated in the Bike to Work event and Neighborhood Nights event, and has developed a framework for a sensory-friendly event at the Farm and Train at Bellevue Park. She's also created surveys for the fitness programming and attended the inaugural Parks and Rec Fund Citizen Committee. Samantha Shaw, Utilities Department, has evaluated sanitary sewer mains that pose a high risk for the city and provide engineering design alternatives for risk mitigation. She's also assisted utilities engineering and operations staff with jar testing ozonation to target case and odor issues in our water sources. Sarah Smith has worked in the city clerk's office, providing support and attending every city council meeting. That's by choice, I'm told, not by assignment. Completed an audit of board and commission council meetings, assisted with Laserfish organization by linking minutes with the agenda packets, ordinances, and resolutions year by year, and served on the DEI committee and collaborated with other interns to lead a presentation. Amanda Spidell, Community Development Department, researched currently adopted state legislation and its impacts on land use within the city. She's evaluated catalytic property within the city and conducted an audit of the economic development website and developed suggestions for improving navigation within that site. Abby Strait, Utilities Department, completed an annual water loss audit on the city's water distribution system and an annual report required by the state. She also assessed solids removed methods from the Union Avenue pump station reservoir, including the benefits, limitations, and risks of each method. Nick Svichar, Human Resources Department, created a 30, 60, and 90-day checklist for our new employees and their supervisors, co-produced a new recruiting video in collaboration with communications, and assisted with the administrative policy manual updates. Sarah Turner, Communications Department, served as Communications Liaison Neighborhood Night event, created framework for a website usability lab to improve navigation of the event's microsite, managed the website calendar to ensure the accuracy, and updated communication files and Laserfish for online record keeping. And our last 2 interns were in the Finance Department, Carson Van Winkle and Cole Moss. They've improved the quality of legacy revenue data and developed new data visualizations for monthly, quarterly, and annual revenue reporting. They performed an inventory of citywide fixed assets, including initial data review, a physical inventory at citywide locations, and data correction in the city accounting system, as well as playing a key role in moving all executed city contracts to Laserfish. Please join me in congratulating our 2024 interns.
Here comes Sean. He's going to take a picture. Everybody, come take a picture. Clapping, clapping, no clapping allowed. We'll waste a bunch of time in the interest of time.
We got others in the audience. Hold on.
What did we miss?
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Hold your applause, please. We do good things with your tax dollars.
All right, everyone, we are now moving to agenda item 7. This is scheduled public comments. The deadline to sign up to speak or schedule public comment is Monday by 5 p.m. prior to the meeting through the city clerk's office. This is an opportunity for the public to address city council. There is an expectation that the presentation will be conducted in a respectful manner, and council may ask questions for clarification, but there will not be any dialogue. And please limit your presentation to 5 minutes. I believe last week, member Can't you give a response to public comment? I believe it's back to me though in terms of your response. So I'll be handling the response to public comment tonight. Up first is Andrew Curtis of Borderlands, here to address council regarding the Parks and Rec Fund. Mr. Borderlands here. Let's see, anyone to also address council regarding the Clarkson and Emerson Park upgrades. I picked the night. All right, do we have a list of unscheduled? Yes, you did.
We're gonna get on with this quickly.
We have Pam Keek here to speak to hospital.
Here we go, Pam is back.
Oh, Ms. Keek?
What were you on the list for?
After Pam.
After Pam.
Yeah, we'll be up
Good evening.
next.
Thank you. So unscheduled public comments, table rules of levity, limited to 3 minutes. So Ms. Keek, if you can just state your name, your address across streets, and then you may begin. Do you mind repeating the letter, make it green, should be like a star, or, there we go.
Okay. My cross streets are Hamden and Sherman. My address is 30 South Sherman Street. And I'm here to speak on 2 private issues. To me, I have a son who is homeless and I'm awfully tired of it. And there's a lot of things that could be changed, I feel, and I can't tell you how to change my wish on you. All right. My son, I feel like homelessness is a social, medical, and mental issue that we are not dealing with, even in England. Tom has an established Medicaid account, yet is treated and treated from the hospital. He's, in the winter of 2023, he walked to my house and it was about 28 degrees out in socks and paper scrubs. Never got his clothes back, and this is pretty common. And I understand an ambulance got the clothes off and hospitals too, but they can't send people home like that. All right, without medical treatment, I expect to have someone show up and tell me that he's dead on the street. Okay? Swedish hospital. When they go to Swedish, like I say, their clothes and stuff are belongings are confiscated sometimes by ambulance people and sometimes in the hospital. I'm going to skip this and go down to one of the most important ones, November 22nd of this last year. He was hit by a mail truck and sustained a head injury and was treated and treated. They released him even though he's diagnosed with epilepsy, hypertension, stroke, diabetes. He came home with a closed head injury, contusions and abrasions. And just a contrast to that, I biffed it on the sidewalk going to my dentist office, and I went into Adventist Hospital by ambulance. I had 30 hours in intensive care. I had 5 CAT scans, saw 4 neurologists, a trauma specialist, a psychiatrist, an OT, and a PT, and that was at 30 hours. Okay, because I had brain bleed, and they were covering that. They were covering themselves too. Now, I realized that my son is non-compliant. Okay, and he can offer excuses, and he can't go to work because he has no place to sleep, no place to take a bath, no place to live. Now, the next thing I want to get to is the Englewood. The city of Englewood does sweeps and police departments pick up homeless people, and they're jailed for sleeping on the streets, in cars. The bathrooms are locked; they can't use those. When arrested, their possessions are confiscated by police and never returned to them. I feel that in an attempt to keep Englewood a beautiful, clean city, we are penalizing, criminalizing, ignoring, and part of our population who are in serious need of help. They need housing, medical, and mental counseling.
Ms. Keek, your 3 minutes are up. Thank you very much for, any questions from members of the council? Thank you very much for speaking.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking. Next up is Regan.
Here, can you hold this?
Please, sir.
It's almost, it's all wrapped up.
Good evening, City Council. I've got 8 copies that I'll leave with the clerk to distribute to everyone, including the city manager, Tim Niles, with the exception of John Anderson, since he sits up there to entertain his friends and doesn't take his job serious. This is a courtesy public records request that you can make if you so desire, but I'll provide the rest of council with a copy. Giggle, giggle, Joe. It's funny stuff, isn't it? Let's just take a minute to honor Joe. He's super special. Okay, get it up. So anyway, this is an internal communication out of the Denver Police Department from the event back in October where I filed a complaint and the actual person that is involved filed a complaint and the Englewood Police Department, of course, ignored the complaint and instead issued a warrant for this man. And then your chief of police did, well, people, Joe, it's so funny, isn't it? Oh my goodness, it's just a good time. Your chief of police gave you guys all a summary of this horrible criminal that they had to issue a warrant for. Remember all that? You got all those communications. Well, it turns out he wasn't such a horrible criminal. And I want a full disclaimer on this complaint that the Denver Police Department did on their officers as well as yours. I did not file this complaint. It's fascinating. I have no idea who filed this complaint and then offered up all this video footage and audio. Wasn't me. Denver definitely wanted to get in front of this complaint because your officers, in fact, violated two people's Fourth Amendment rights by making illegal entry into their home, thinking that they had their suspect from this night. If you'll all recall, your cops beat the hell out of him, and then he got away, and then your really smart cops collaborated with Denver PD and went over and made illegal entry into a residence in Denver. Yes, there is video and audio of it, but your police department doesn't want to investigate it. Isn't that funny? And you know how I think Denver PD got this video and audio? I think your police department cooperated with that. Giggle, giggle, Joe, it's funny stuff, isn't it? People's lives are at stake, and you're up there laughing like a moron. Why don't you resign? You're a punk. At least Steve had the good sense to apologize for what he'd done and the damage he caused. Not you. You doubled down in moron. You're up there entertaining your friends. Why don't you get off council? 10 more seconds, 18, right? I texted you last week, one of those attorneys in that $130,000 settlement. Yeah, it was one of the attorneys at
And
Denver.
3 minutes are up.
Yeah, you screwed up big time.
Any questions for reading? Moving on to the next speaker, Matt Crabtree, here to talk about the ballot questions.
Thank you very much.
Crabtree, if you could just state your name and your address across streets.
Sure. Good evening. I'm Matt Crabtree. Sherman Court. Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. I'm before you this evening talking about the ballot questions that are currently being proposed. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion recently regarding how things have transpired with Parks Geo. I want to make it very clear that the two citizen initiatives that are currently being circulated right now for the charter questions. At no point were those intended to interfere with the Geo law. No way. That is simply an unfortunate coincidence and circumstance that nobody had thought of from, I suppose, any perspective here, and possibly not even from the city until we figured it out. So, wanted to get on the record here to speak before you this evening that certainly the two citizen initiatives that are being circulated, one of them is for elected mayor position. There's here in Englewood, there's a legal precedent source that's placed with that question. City of Littleton passed that in 2020. The other one builds consensus on council and creates more an opportunity for a unified decision for the appointment of a member of council. Both of them intended to be non-adversarial, and I'll continue this by saying that I'm in conversation with a citizens group that's out there that's supporting GeoMon, and I'm talking with the various people in that group and trying to maintain a collaborative sense of that. In an ideal world, I'm hoping that there would be an opportunity here that both the questions that are being circulated by the citizens right now, these charter issues, and the GeoMon could coincide on the ballot at the same time. I'm a huge advocate for people's right to vote. I think in an ideal world, the people in Englewood would have the opportunity to vote for both at the same time. And would encourage the city to proceed with any possible opportunities. I know there's been a few ideas that floated around on this. I would encourage the city to proceed with those to create the best opportunity, I think, here to have an opportunity for the city's citizens to make a vote. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very very much, Mr. Crabtree. Any questions for Mr. Crabtree? Go ahead, move forward. Mr. Crabtree?
Just one question. Noting that the current interpretation of our charter is that we can't ask a tax-related ballot question at the same time as any other questions. And citizens have a fundamental right to place something on the ballot, which is what your group is attempting to do. As one member of this group, if there were to be a process where our council would negotiate calling a special election, would you be willing to withdraw from consideration for the November ballot on agreement from this body if we can see
No.
an agreement to call a special
No.
election for your questions?
No.
We are not, there's been a tremendous amount of work, obviously there's been a conversation of similar nature, with that citizens group out there to withdraw our initiative right now. We feel that it's timely to do this at this point, and Englewood, ballot questions have been written in a way that they will pretty much only work for the 2025, 2024 to enact in 2025. And I would not really feel too comfortable with the amount of work that's been done thus far to hold our initiatives. That is obviously our protected right to do the petitions. I'm hoping for an opportunity where both initiatives are able to be on the ballot at the same time. There may be a legal precedence there that from past cases in Englewood that creates the opportunity for that. I'm hoping that the city council explores that.
I just want to make sure that I was crystal clear on the question that I'm asking. It
Yes.
sounds like there might be some misunderstanding of what I'm asking.
Right.
If the body were to pass an ordinance calling an election on the questions that you're circulating a petition for,
Yes.
at a time other than November, would that be something that you would be willing to agree to?
I feel like in that particular situation, there could be a lower vote, or lower turnout, if there's a special election following, a municipal election. I think having, ideally, considering we're falling within the guidelines and timelines provided by the
No.
city, ideally our question would be presented on the ballot, in November. Don't mean to sound like I'm being difficult here, but obviously we started this process and didn't expect, the circumstances that you don't want to be interfered with. Obviously, it would be best if these situations didn't happen. That the citizens and people of Englewood would have would be able to execute their First Amendment right to petition their government and get citizen initiatives on the ballot, without, of course, interfering with the city's ability to put them on the ballot. I mean, honestly, I don't know how many of you would have even thought that was a problem a year ago. We certainly did. So, obviously having the opportunity for everybody to vote on these is the ideal. So I personally think that there may be another option even from that maybe could be explored.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'm happy to talk about it after the meeting too.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
All right, no further questions. Mr. Crabtree, thank you for your time tonight. Up next is Jared Whitebird from the Republican.
Oh, there were more signed up after me. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Happy July. So, I'm Jan Whitebird, Federal in Bellevue, and I wanted to talk about ranked choice voting. And what I'm going to start with is the United States is a constitutional republic. We are protected from autocratic, supposedly, rule because of our constitution, that we're a republic with representative government.
Thank you.
We have personal rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Ranked choice voting is another way to take away representative government that manipulates who wins the elections. Candidates can have a majority of the vote and lose the election. Someone who comes in third or fourth can be the final winner. Most votes, the cons, most votes can lose. Votes might not count because they're exhausted, so I can vote for 2 or 3 people and my vote still doesn't count on the final piece. They're delayed results, it's complicated, it violates one person, one vote, and it's expensive. It's totally more expensive than regular vote tally and the setup. Have you ever had a runoff in Englewood? I don't know, I don't think so. So you're saying put in ranked choice voting for something that hasn't even happened. Recounts are more expensive because your ranked choice voting, tallying is more expensive. One more point, Chelsea Camp, who works for United America, works very hard to bring in one world government, and she is chief of staff. This is one of the things that they're working very hard to bring into our country. And if this is brought to a vote, she should recuse herself because it probably affects her continued employment and or potentially bonuses that she would get. I also will say this, it said in the points for the city council meeting that there's no financial. This isn't even set up for our county to count. It's not set up for our state to count, and you're saying there's no financial point to this? Joe, you didn't even research it. You need to have a study session and look very carefully at what the options are and what the outcomes are. You haven't even researched this. Please don't vote this through. It's crazy. It's one of these crazy things that you've got in your head that just isn't right. It's not right for our country. It's not right for our state. It's certainly not right for Englewood, especially without a good research behind it. Please do not
Thanks,
vote.
Ms. Wicker, your 3 minutes are up. Any questions for Ms. Wicker? Go ahead, Ms. Russell.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. In your opinion, is ranked choice voting unconstitutional according to the Constitution of the United States?
I don't believe it follows our policies of one voter, one vote, one person. So I don't think it follows what we've had as a country. I also don't believe that it's good representative government because it tries to get to the, it can take out your good people. And so people vote not knowing what the outcome is going to be. Unconstitutional, I haven't studied that portion, but I will.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
No further questions. Thanks for your time tonight, Ms. Wicker. Up next is PG Colnick. We just talked about it.
Oh, everybody loves PJ.
Hey, you're here.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Mr. Colnick.
Yeah, he's here. Right on. He's here.
I live in Englewood at 2771 South Auckland Street. Quick note on ranked choice. I think I wasn't going to talk about it tonight, but I do think it is worth saying that Englewood in the past 5-10 years has elected people to office that have had less than 50% majority. And ranked choice voting would actually address that gap. It's important that when we're voting, that we have a greater than 50% majority choice for people that are elected into office. Otherwise, we're just kind of, picking from a basket, whatever grabs the most wins. And so it's important that we have an agreement greater than 50%. Emerson Park. So Emerson Park is actually a city-owned land. It's a park right now that's right next, I believe, Gates and Emerson. Currently, as the park fund sits, all money was removed for Emerson Park improvements. The majority of money was also removed for Clarkson Amherst Park improvements. I'm here tonight to ask you guys to reconsider that. Myself and several of my neighbors were very concerned when we saw this for a few reasons. One, it's actually, Emerson Park itself is a very big focal point of that neighborhood. We actually just had our 25th annual Donkey Ditch July 4th party. There was almost 200 people that attended that. Denver Fire Department came, they hosed down all the kids, we had sack races, we had a big old cookout, everybody just chipped in, potluck style, and that's been happening for 25 years. That neighborhood has been gathering in Emerson Park right after they do a bike parade, all these kids have decorated their bikes in there. So it's a really important part. The other thing is, I believe that the process by which the money was decided to either be granted or not granted to Emerson Park could have been a bit more transparent. I think you even had the opportunity to look at the feedback that the Parks Department got at the neighborhood nights that happened on May 25th, lots of people were going up there, talking to them, giving them excited feedback about what they saw in those things. And from what I can tell, it seems like there's two neighbors, or a small amount of neighbors that is concerned that they may bring outsiders into the neighborhood, or they just want to keep it status quo. A lot of us are going to experience a higher tax rate in that area.
Bringing outsiders to the park.
From the parks bond, and we believe it's only fair that we should see both Emerson and Clarkson have their bucket of money reinstated when we go to vote. So that's another thing. One also thing I'd like to address is I've heard that housing is always a potential in city-owned lots. One thing, reason that Emerson, right as it is a great spot is because Emerson Park is in play.
Thank you, Mr. Coley.
He was on council on emergency. He's Joe Miller's buddy. Yeah.
Are you in favor of that entire bill going to those local parks, or is there specific items that you would want to see?
I'd be in favor of the whole amount. I know that part of the process is we kind of have to designate the pieces that go into that. But even then, there's still an opportunity to collaborate with the Parks Department.
Collaborate.
In those kind of neighborhood chats along the way.
Collaborate for money for parks.
My request is to reinstate everything that was put on.
He's campaigning, is what he's doing right now. They entertain their friends with parks and all this BS.
Yes, so the reason Emerson Park is like a very ideal park is because it's in a floodplain right now. If you think about just the geography of the area, and Harvard Gulch kind of drains into that drainage area. And so that, the way that park is set up is because you would not be able to build in either of those areas without significant environmental engineering that would have to take into account lots of different ways that flood impacts would be changed should things get out.
You realize that most parks are retention ponds.
Yes.
That's a big part of the purpose.
Yes. And so what I mean is that that's why they're good parks. Like leaving them as open space to be improved with very temporary structures like a gazebo or a children's playground is ideal. Those aren't things where you've got people occupying or anything like that. So city-owned land that has geographic challenges that stay green.
I have one last question, please. So if we left everything in for all the parks, and all the asks for everybody, we could have very well been looking at, I don't know, $55, $60 million. And like you said, your area might be paying more than other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So the higher the amount, the more it would be costing, you as an example, you per year. Would you be okay with that for every everybody that they're asking for their own individual parks?
Yeah, I think the parks fund as it stands right now is at 40, 41, 43, somewhere in there.
It's about 40.
The amount that was removed from Clarkson and Emerson that I'm asking back is about 1.4. So we're talking about a less than 2% increase.
Right, that's what I'm asking. Okay, so there's other areas, other parks that we have taken things out and we've received emails and stuff, and they're saying, why did you do that, why did you do that?
Yes.
So we want to make everybody happy everywhere, and I'm not trying to pick on you, but if we did that, but we're trying to make it a reasonable amount for everybody, and that's my question to you. If we added that, what everybody is asking us to do, would you personally be willing to pay that higher amount of that bond back? Because the more the bond is, the more you're gonna be paying is my question.
Yeah, and the answer is yes.
Okay,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
he wants a higher bond. Give us more money for parks.
As you have correctly noted, most of the funding for this project would go to parks that have not recently been.
This was all set up.
Or renovated. Many of those parks are in central part of the city.
They're trying to pass a parks bond, and so they got him campaigning here. So he goes out and rounds up all the people in his neighborhood and says, hey everybody, we're gonna do all these fun things in the park.
Funding to the southern part of the city, as far as the geographic city as a whole, and how
What's
it's
with
spread
the
out.
TV screen on the other side of
That's a
the.
good question. I think the first
That's
thing
new.
I answer that is that,
Well, he gets a lot of public comment time to push his agenda, doesn't he?
So, I mean, I think that should just be mentioned. As far as, we need to improve all of our parks. I think we all agree.
You need to work on your police department first.
School,
Wow.
just that social fabric.
Listen to this.
Both Emerson and Clarkson are just kind of patches of grass that are, kind of live and struggle in that city.
They're just patches of grass. Look at Chelsea. She loves this stuff. This is word salad stuff for her.
I would just say that it's important that we're improving all the parks. And as it stands right now, Clarkson and Emerson is going to be
I appreciate your perspective and helpful as we consider this change.
All right, with no further questions, Mr. Cohen, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for being here tonight,
Up
finally.
next is
They missed you last
also
week,
here's-
PJ. Oh, we got some more park supporters.
Good evening, Mr. Castillo, if you could just state your name and your address for questions.
Yes, I'm Max Castillo with 2780 South Emerson. Across here is Clarkson and Emerson. I'm also a proponent of what PJ just talked about. I think the nicer parks are important. I'm also a proud parent. And,
You ready?
I enjoy taking my dogs and also my son and family to the parks, and I feel like they're very selective. And I am just a firm believer in that, a rising tide lifts all boats, and we're gonna invest all this money in the base park. I just don't see, I don't think it's very fair. I think Emerson and Clarkson could also, utilize some touches. In terms of specifics, you'll talk about that before. I don't know, there's one thing proposed, like a bike trail around the thing. I'm not sure I'm a big proponent of that. But I think just in general, more shaded space is important. We plant a tree now, that'll provide shade for future generations. I believe in that. And I think it's time to, really, just improve the entire area, especially those two parks. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castillo. Member Wright has a question for you.
Yes, let's see, we'll clarify. You do know that the Bates Open Park is not all part of the bond, correct? That the money to upgrade that to make it a special ADA compliant park has come from grant funding.
I am aware.
Okay, so and I believe in your statement, you said, it's not part of the bank slogan, is getting all this money. That is all funding from grants to make it for kids in wheelchairs or adults that can use in Englewood Park that may not currently be able to. And, I want to make sure that people understand that.
Yeah, fair point, Ms. Wright. I entirely agree with you. In general, I think parks are a great, as PJ said, it's a great community, social fabric that offers the whole neighborhood to celebrate together. I was also participated in the 4th of July, 25th Donkey Ditch Parade, and let me tell you, it was fantastic. But at the same time, it's nice that Englewood provides some of the refreshments. But at the same time, I think it's time. We need to really level set the table. And I feel like it's a little bit forgotten, Emerson and Clarkson.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Actually, just a quick question, so you're right there next to Clarkson Amherst.
You notice they don't ever have any questions about their police department, like killing people?
Yeah. One comment, those two parks, one concerns I have, it's a tough job, and I don't think they get enough recognition, but the people that pick up the trash, that's a tough job. I don't have the solution here. I'm just gonna throw this out here. There's some drunks and some people that constantly just kind of, they overflow the trash there, and at times, the smell, and it's, triple digits here, it is quite pungent. I don't know if we perhaps, send them twice a week, or maybe people are going to continue to dump trash there. Again, I don't have the solution, but that's just one concern. that the transfer rolls are not constant, but they're inundated more than they should be.
Are we talking about Emerson or is that Clarkson Amherst?
Yeah, great question. So it's more of Clarkson than Emerson, but I've also noticed it at Emerson.
Okay.
And I've also seen people like come, with liquor bottles there. So I don't have the solution, it's just an observation.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. With no further questions, thank you very much for coming to speak tonight.
Isn't that what the
Up
church is
next
for?
is Chairman Darrington Tate, here to also speak
So
about.
your city crews and taking care of the trash? That was weird. That was a weird twist.
Good evening, Ms. Darrington Tate. You can just state your name and your address across, please.
My name is Carolyn Tate,
Right.
and I live at
Exactly.
2798 South Emerson Street at the would-be corner of East Amherst and South Emerson. It's not a real corner because the city ditch runs through there. I have just been learning some things about the park proposals. And one of my concerns is how the funds will be garnered for this project. And one of the concerns I have is that there's a possibility that there might be more demands on property owners north of Dartmouth than in other areas. Being on fixed income, having taught Englewood schools for 30 years. And my late husband and I bought our house in 1984. I'm concerned about how that will impact things. I am a great proponent of parks, and I echo the things that my neighbors have said about Emerson and Clarkson parks. And they are special to us. But I am concerned about how this will be funded, and it seems to me that there should be a way that if this is going to be citywide, it needs to be equitable across the city, not having one group of people carry the burden of the adjustments and changes.
Anything else, Ms. Darrington Tate?
I appreciate that you all have wonderful parks and make sure that they're maintained. And we all love our Emerson and Clarkson Park and the neighborhood. And I think, well, I've lived here since 1984, so I think it was a great place to be.
Thank you very much for your time, Ms. Darrington Tate. Any questions? Go ahead, my break.
Thank you. Can you clarify for me, please? Did you say that you have heard that the funding for this will be based on income?
No, maybe I misinterpreted what I read about how the funding will come, that it might be based on property ownership of people who own properties that are more than $500,000 and up, rather than, I have an impression, maybe that's not correct, that it may not be an equitable assessment for people with, owning any property in the
I think, and I believe it might be wrong, I believe they're using the price of a $500,000 home as the,
I'm sorry, Ms. Riley, you asked a question, I can speak to that.
Oh, so she doesn't get the dialogue, but they do.
No, so
Right,
this is
yeah.
just the time for
See?
questions, but.
See
you are allowed
how
to
he
speak, so I
shut
can
that down?
answer your question regarding the, no further questions?
No
Thank you very
dialogue?
much for your time, Ms. Darrington Tate. I'll give a response here shortly, so. thanks for your time.
Uh-huh.
All right,
See how
any
they
further
do this
discussion?
shit?
All right, perfect, and that concludes us here with public comment, I'll give a quick response. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming and
They're
speaking.
so
That's
dirty.
my notes here.
They're so dirty.
Ms. Pete, thank you very much for coming and speaking to, obviously, some of the heartache that you had in terms of your son being homeless and some of the issues that you see around the city. I will follow up this, my understanding is that the police do give back the personal possessions of anyone that they pick up.
No,
But I
they
will
don't.
verify that, because I believe this is the second time you come and spoken to us about the issue. And so I just want to find out what's changed over the last, I want to say maybe 6 months since you last came.
Why? Because they
But
told
my
you they
understanding
did?
was that we do return personal possessions after the police do pick anyone up. But thanks for bringing that to my attention. Mr. Crabtree, thank you very much for coming and speaking about the GoBond. I understand, I believe you may have left already, Mr. Crabtree. just thanks for bringing that up. Obviously, you have the right as a citizen, and citizens have a right to gather signatures in order to get something on the ballot. Obviously, I'm in favor of making the questions available to all citizens to vote on improvements for the city. So I would like to figure out a way to make that happen here tonight as well. Ms. Whiteford, thanks for coming and speaking to your concerns around ranked voting. It is a matter that we're going to be speaking to tonight. I have a more favorable view on ranked voting, and hopefully it provides a better demographic for people to vote on people that are running for office. So I'm looking forward to the conversation later tonight on ranked choice voting. And for the three members that came and spoke about Anderson Park, Mr. Coleman, Mr. Castillo, and Mr. Tate, thank you for that. I've been having conversations about Anderson Park over the last few weeks. Last 4 weeks, I actually had a conversation yesterday walking the park and Clarkson Amherst as well in terms of what citizens or what amenities they'd like to see. But it's a conversation we have to have. Obviously, there's going to be cuts that we have to make as part of this. Ms. Harrington, Tate, you're right. There would be an increase in the mill levy in order to pay for the park improvements. So we used $500,000 as a basis of your home value. With that, you're looking at about $133 annually that would increase in terms of paying for the parks. So that's something that we have to take into consideration with any type of improvements that we're looking to the city, is that anyone on a fixed income is burned more by any type of improvements to parks, any type of infrastructure, anything that we're talking about. We understand that concern. So that's what is always very difficult for us to have these conversations, knowing that we can't have that type of impact. But I'm looking forward to the conversation later on tonight in terms of just what goes into the go on. But I appreciate your perspective and coming and speaking tonight on the issue. And with that,
What about me?
have anything to add? Go ahead.
What about me?
Regan, please don't disrupt the meeting. Go ahead, Member Regan, if there's anything you want to add.
Sure, I took point of personal privilege considering that I was called out.
Sure, go ahead.
Officers tonight.
Let's hit the road, shall we? Let's see.
One, I do think that Harvard has some misinformation about British choice voting, and I know we've been.
They don't want to address their issues.
She accurately says that I am chief of staff of an organization called America. What we do in our organization has nothing to do with the one world order, America, not alone. But the things that we do work on is we want to make sure that every single voter in this country can vote for any candidate they choose, regardless of party, and every taxpayer.
Do you want to write? No, you're okay. Are you sure? Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, just okay. Okay,
give me a call. Okay.
Transparently, and to share the context for that. I do not receive any bonuses. As you know, I have not advocated or brought up the policy that I work on in the city, because I take that distinction quite seriously. We're not.
Did you guys all see that? They address everybody's public comment but mine. I mean, cops killing people, it's not that big of a deal. Cops violating people's rights, not that big of a deal. Oh well, it's just, it's just life and death. What a fucking pussy. We kill people. It's all right. We're not going to comment on it.
Think they were going to take a break after public comment? I think they're going to just go straight into the next item.
Where are you here, Sergeant Wright?
To check on Officer Fajon.
Yeah, that's nice of you. Boy, I got a lot of issues with some shit you have done.
Myself?
Yeah, absolutely you.
Well, you can call the department to complain.
They don't take my complaint.
Well, I'm not gonna talk with you about it.
Oh, how come? Don't want to own up to your bullshit? Nah. Sergeant Wright, this dirty son of a bitch right here.
Thanks, buddy. You wanna take off? All right, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm a dirty fucking cop. Thanks, buddy. You fucking scumbag. Dwight, how are ya? How about all this bullshit with you drumming up this criminal case on me with your go-to gal? Huh? How about how you treated Robert? You don't want to talk about any of that? Because you look like a fucking idiot, huh? Your department's not going to investigate?
Hold the door for you.
Don't hold the fucking door for me. I don't want you to hold the door for me. You can't talk to me, you don't get the honor of holding the fucking door for me.
Okay. Solid.
You trying to go incognito with all that facial hair?
No, I've had facial hair for the last 12 years.
Oh yeah? You had it all cleaned up?
No.
Last few times I've seen you. You going dirty with your Robbie boy? You fuck. It's mutual? The feeling's mutual. So tell us what kind of action you're taking against me by abusing your fucking authority.
I'm not doing it.
You are a dirty fucking cop and you know it. Giggle, giggle. Qualified immunity. It's all fun and fucking games until somebody dies, isn't it?
What? The feeling's mutual, he said?
Uh-huh.
That's real professional, man. The
Fuck
feeling's
you.
mutual.
Fuck you. That is one dirty fucking pig right there. That is one dirty fucking pig right there. Mm-hmm. Sergeant Adam Wright. Take notes, everybody. Yep. All right, well, we left that meeting in a hurry, didn't we?
I knew you were going to follow him out there. I was waiting for you to do it.
We
Oh,
left
yeah,
a
we
camera?
left the
You left
camera.
your camera on the...
Yeah, you stormed back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, on the desk. Sorry about that. I rushed you out of there.
No, you didn't really rush me out.
That was nice
I
of her.
just totally spaced it.
That was the clerk that allowed you to come back in. I mean, she actually came out here to tell you so nobody would steal it. But then they lock the doors to the public meeting. Can you hold that for us so we don't? Thank you. I don't know why they allow the locking. That's not good. But these outdoor doors are all locked.
Yeah.
And that is not a good, they're not during a public meeting. I've brought this up before, but nobody gives a shit. Nobody.
Well, actually,
No, locking people out is, during a public meeting, they don't have access to the public meeting. Well, I'll wait here with all your stuff, so you don't have to go through with all of it.
My camera just in case I need it.
All right, leave your
Got my
backpack.
phone in there, so I gotta go. You're good. Go ahead, sir.
So you need a sergeant to come check up on you? Why?
Oh, my body camera was running low, so he brought me a new battery.
Oh, that was a smart move. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have called him to the scene, though. What, are you working on tickets right there?
Yeah.
Who are you giving a ticket to?
Just some people out and about.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody gets to see that, huh?
What's that?
Everybody gets to see that here? There go the two yes men for the city council on come and talk to us and we'll dialogue with you on why we need a tax increase. He's writing tickets out here in public.
You're writing tickets?
Yeah.
No, the tickets were written earlier today. I'm just catching up on paperwork while I sit here.
Where's the other guy that's usually here?
There's just one of us tonight. You're talking about the security guard or the cop?
The cop. Who's the other cop that's usually here?
You know, there's a couple of us that do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So they went back down to one cop again?
Seems that way.
That's good. Yeah, that was an extra $5,100 they had to spend.
Yeah, I can think of better ways to spend that money, but...
No, I like that. That's good. It's a good observation.
Have a good night.
Dwight! How are you this evening? Long time no see.
You know how it is. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah,
Life
good.
is
Glad to hear
good.
that.
Life is good.
Glad to hear that.
Let me walk this lady to her
Oh,
car.
sure, of course. That's
But
nice
you
of
gotta
you.
set up and do what you gotta do.
Oh, no, we're probably leaving. Such a good guy, making sure everybody gets to their cars. She didn't ask, but
He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
You notice that about him? He's like one of those old school kind of dudes, like chivalry's not dead, and probably like gender roles and stuff.
right.
You ever seen, those really old men, like really old men, where you can tell like it's a generational thing because like when a woman comes and she sits down at the table, they'll all stand up. You ever seen that before? That's like the old school way.
That's when, I don't know, there was more respect about being a man and being a gentleman. Now it's just everyday
Let's see, like
idiocy.
I just
I'm all
learned from my
tangled
mom.
up here. Yeah, well,
My mom taught me how to trade. So, yeah, man, it's like every time I come here, see, that's why I don't like coming, because then I think of like new stuff that I want to address every time I come. Like last time I had to force myself not to come because they kept saying more dumb stuff. But then I just come here and then like, I want to address that thing with the mayor now. Both of their buddies come up there, they have plenty of dialogue, it's fine, and then as soon as some guy that's not their buddy comes up, oh wait, he answered the question, Ms. Wright.
Yep, because that woman was confused, and Kim Wright was trying to explain to her that it's a bond based on property value. And that woman saw an example that they were using. They were using a $500,000 home and what it would cost annually in a tax increase. So it's a bond, it's a tax increase based on your property value. And she didn't really understand that. And Kim was trying to explain that to her. You see that? It's a tax increase.
Yeah.
And they will not say those words. And so that other dude, that Crabtree dude that was talking, so you know those petitions I'm carrying? I'm carrying, should Englewood citizens be allowed to vote for their mayor? And should there be a supermajority when they have a vacancy? Those two issues, if they collect enough signatures on those, apparently knock off their bond increase question in November because of the way their charter is written. They can't have other issues on their ballot. So a citizen-led initiative. This is a tax increase that Englewood wants, and they're just putting it on their ballot, right? So this citizen initiative overrides that, essentially, because of the way Englewood's charter is written. So I don't know why he's here to announce that, I don't know, they want to negotiate, I don't know. But Steve Ward immediately jumped on it because they want to, he literally is telling him, you need to get your thing off.
Yeah.
So we
What
can
was
pack.
this question that he was asking? If we were to like consider it for a
Special election
later or something?
So he wants to know if they divide it up. People don't vote in special elections. And what they want to do again is what happened last time when they tried to recall them. It was two separate issues. So people thought that they were voting in the November general election on all the issues, and it was a special election to recall them. They got enough signatures, but then people didn't vote. So it failed because the taxpayers didn't understand that they were voting for that in a special election. So now the dipshit is asking them if they'll consider a special election for their issue because they know people don't vote in special elections.
Yeah. He's being
Yes.
sneaky.
And then they bring all their friends up there to talk about why they need fucking tax increase, and the best they can come up with is because somebody puts liquor bottles in the trash and the trash isn't getting dumped. Dude, do you know that that is like a $200 a year tax increase on that $500,000 to $700,000 home? And there ain't a home, really, there's not many homes in Englewood that are under $500,000, okay? These people, their property taxes already went up. We already had a massive tax increase, and now these fucking idiots want a bond increase for the parks. People can't afford frickin' food. All these people on fixed incomes, Pam's rent, that was another reason she was here to talk. Her rent is 88% of her income. And she's on a fixed income, and that's for seniors. And she's in the senior housing here. And she's trying to help her homeless son in Englewood. And this is what she gets. I mean, it's a mess. This little city, it lost its grip on government not being so out of control. It really did. That was nice of you, Dwight.
You know, I always like to walk the ladies to their car. Now, I don't walk the men unless they ask, but
Sure.
you know, with the ladies, it's just something that I do.
I appreciate you. You're such a good guy. I don't get to see you much anymore.
Yeah, they got me moving all around and doing a lot of different things, but that's good. You know, change up.
Are you like labor for the library staff? Are you the labor?
No, I do upstairs, I do downstairs, I do the outside, I do it all.
Yes.
But so that gives me flexibility.
He's such a good dude. He really is. I
The
think
librarians, they try to run you around and boss you around a lot and stuff like that?
Well, you know something? The library is a unique place, has a unique staff, and has an outstanding record on what they do. So, you know, I'm just here to do my job and keep an eye on my job, and, you know, but I don't.
You do it so well.
Because, you know me, I mean, I get paid to pay attention to a lot of other things than what goes on in the library or other places. If it's security minded, I
Right.
can answer those because I'm keen on those.
You can't help me find a book down there?
They do ask, but.
Do you want to know the title of the book that I'm looking for?
Yeah, they do ask, but you know, I send them to the library staff. Say, hey, they're better equipped and more knowledgeable than myself
Yeah.
in that area.
Yeah. What if, say, I can't go in the library and I need somebody to get a library book for me?
Oh, well, then I'm pretty sure somebody as well known as you and liked as you shouldn't have any problems in that area. My specialty is security.
His specialty is security. He's so PC. I mean, he is the best with people. He's literally telling me, you know what, Regan, get out of my face. Go figure it out yourself in the kindest, nicest way. I mean, but seriously, Dwight, you nail it. You nail it in the customer service department.
I really do understand that everybody who comes here with their function, I support, because that's what I do. If security is the issue, I deal with it. But I can't get into the personal issues or those other little things, but I stay right down the middle.
Yeah, and you do what your job calls for.
Thank you.
That you're just that good at it. I'm pretty sure that Dwight and I have been here the longest.
We have.
We have.
We have.
We
I
have.
mean, we have history, so.
Right. He's like he and Alex are the only original. Yeah, they're the only originals on that crew, on this whole crew now for several years. Yeah, and it's turned out.
At least two, because I've been here that long.
Yeah.
Which one's Alex?
Alex is the younger kid. Yeah, they followed us. Alex was off kind of the rails, and man, he just.
Oh, you
Yeah.
the young black kid?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If you guys will excuse me, I need to get this. This could be serious.
Sure,
security
understood.
issue.
Understood. It was good to see you.
guys.
Classified information.
Take care.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah, but he's actually, he's a good dude. You hear him laughing.
Yeah. No, he's good because he knows that, he's staying in his lane, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't really help you with that, but I'm going to say it in like
Yeah.
the most nicest, like,
I know, and
very
he does it
diplomatic way.
so good. He does it so good. Yeah. So anyway, well, should we call it a night?
So I didn't know. So that sergeant, that's the guy that was.
That's Adam Wright.
Was he the one that was trying to, convince everyone to file charges on you?
I don't know. That piece I don't know.
So
That piece I don't know.
So, were you trying to file a charge, or not charges, a complaint on that sergeant at Englewood? Remember, trying to talk to, you're talking to like another sergeant. I saw a live stream that you were doing. It was a vertical one where you're trying to file a complaint, and like the guy came out and he said that he forgot about it.
Yeah.
He slipped his mind, or he got busy, or something like that. Is that the kind of stuff that you're talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. So what's the point? You can't even file a complaint
Nope.
because if they get busy, then they don't even take your complaint, or they forget, they get busy, they don't respond. Or
They're
do anything.
excuses.
Yeah.
That's not the
that they got
first one.
busy.
That's not the first one. I have a long history of documented complaints that they have entirely ignored. I mean, just not even acknowledged.
Yeah.
They'll come out, they'll act like they're taking the complaint. Oh, I'll get back to you. That same guy, he's, in his defense, I've only filed one complaint with him. But there's a long history. That's why I tell everybody on the live streams, if you've literally experienced police abuses over here where you have suffered loss of liberty, families of people that have lost loved ones over here, you have got to start filing your complaints with the Attorney General. Now, here's one thing I will say. Last week, I made public comment here as well, and I had sent an email, and I sent it to Sam Watson, Vance Fender, the city attorney, Sean, and I said, I'm filing this complaint. And this is literally, I mean, I didn't say this to the T, but this is my last ditch effort. If you are not going to acknowledge this complaint and the process you're going to use to reach a conclusion, I'm going to take this complaint and file it with the Attorney General because it's specific to that situation with that sergeant and him using that female officer to continue to drum shit up on me, right? And them not acknowledging my complaint. Well, after I did that and came to City Council and spoke about it, I got an email last week from Ed Disner, who has screwed up every other complaint. Ed Disner's the sergeant of their internal affairs, and he assured me that this complaint is getting top priority and it will be investigated and blah, 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 blah. So what they'll do is they'll give it about 3 weeks, and then they'll probably send me a letter and say, we thoroughly investigated this and we found no wrongdoing. And that's fine. They can do that because I'm going to go back because we have law, and I'm going to request the entire investigation file. And then when I discover that they did no investigation, then I'm going to turn it over to the Attorney General. I'm just going to keep filing complaints with the Attorney General. There is no process over here in the city of Englewood that you can use to get the police to do an internal affairs investigation. They clear everybody.
Yeah.
If they even investigate them. Right?
Clearly, they don't want you to talk to the Attorney General's office because you bring it up, and then all of a sudden now Disner's going to respond to you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So we'll
It's
see.
a dog and pony show.
It's a dog and pony show. And he asked me if he had any questions, how could I communicate with you? I said, you can continue to communicate with me via email. So
it's Disner, it's the IA sergeant, and who's the chief of police?
Sam Watson, and he's
Watson.
announced his retirement.
Oh, he did? Okay. Yeah, because I just remember Watson and Disner because they're the guys that left their diarrhea prescription that you found, right? When you turned it in, right? That's the only reason I remember those guys.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And I swapped their names, right? So in that video, I'm calling Sam Watson Sergeant Watson because these cops are literally reversing their roles. Watson never goes to work, okay? How is he a chief? When you've got your sergeant in IA running the whole show on how shit's gonna be addressed in your police department, you're nobody.
Yeah.
So I call him Sergeant Watson and Disner, Commander Disner.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
I mean, if we're into titles and ranks, that's what you've earned.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have earned no title or rank, but if you're comparing how you run your operation to the lower guys on the totem pole, you don't even come to work. So how the hell do you know what's going on in this shit with the case that I talked about tonight? This is a big damn deal. They ignored my complaint, they ignored his complaint, and then turned around and wrote a warrant for him 3 months later. And Sam Watson sent the city council this big, long update about this horrific criminal that they were looking for. Yeah. Turns out he wasn't such a horrific criminal. He had a couple warrants from some, crimes against government while living homeless. Yeah. So he had some warrants for some unfinished shit. But they made this guy out to be just this monster, this absolute monster. And it's not true. And you know why they did all that? Why they issued a warrant for him? Because they thought this would be a way to ensure that the body cam footage never got released. Except I guess they didn't bank on this guy being smarter than them, and he got his body cam footage through his discovery.
Nice.
After he got picked up. This dude lives on private property. He works for people that give him an opportunity. He harms no one. He minds his own business. He's nowhere on a public street. He just happened to be in Englewood one night in a park because he wanted his dogs to run in the dog park because they were pent up in the vehicle, right? And there's this other woman over there with a dog. And so they meet for the first time in the park that night. And she's having problems with her heater. So he starts working on her car. And the cops roll up on him. Yeah, we're doing an investigation. Yeah, we got a call. You're stripping vehicles over here.
Is that the one? That's the one that Direct E did?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that video got on.
I didn't know that was that same one.
Yep, that's this case.
Okay.
And then later that night, after they beat the shit out of Josh and he got away from them, in all their infinite wisdom, Englewood decided that they located him in somebody's home in District 2 down off of, what was it? It's off of Sheridan and, I don't know, somewhere like 28th and Sheridan in Denver. But it was a really goofy pocket between jurisdiction of Lakewood and Denver. So Englewood calls Denver and says, can we get an assist to locate a blah, blah, blah? And they're like, okay, well, we're not going out there unless you have officers there. Well, they didn't have officers there. They wanted Denver to go over there and literally locate this suspect. So Englewood ends up going over there, but Denver and other Englewood cops literally bust into these people's apartment. And they had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
They're not related to this. They don't look like these people, nothing. And this girl is on video going, you can't come in here. I know my rights. And you got one of the cops saying, well, it's not my fault your door jam's broken. They fucking made entry into her home, into this apartment. We don't know if it was hers or his apartment. We don't know these people. We're actually trying to figure out where they're at. And, we're doing our own independent journalist investigation on police abuses where they violated other people's rights. And so it's all on body cam that this girl says, you can't come in here. And one of the Englewood cops is the first one to bust through that apartment, walk all the way through it, and yell, you get out here, you get out here. Well, some dude who was on probation, I guess, we think, was hiding in a back bedroom they're in their own domicile. Whether, we don't know whose home it was, but it doesn't matter. And so they take him out and handcuff him, both of them, detain him, and fucking charge her with obstruction. Yes! But they let him go. Because the Englewood cop showed up that had the interaction with the guy earlier and said, oh, no, that's not the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they charged her with obstruction because
Yeah.
she wouldn't open the door?
Yes.
So, but they had a warrant to kick the door down?
No, there was no
There was
warrant.
no warrant?
And here's the other part. Yeah, I left that out.
Crazy.
And Denver even asked Englewood, is there a warrant on file? And Englewood goes, nope, no warrant.
Yeah.
I shit you not.
That's crazy. I wonder if they charged her with obstruction so they could try to cover their ass for
Of course
busting down
they
a
did.
door with no warrant.
Of course they did.
Dang.
Yeah. And then somebody filed this
Do you
complaint.
know this lady?
No.
But you saw the body cam, you said,
Yes.
right? Okay. Dang, I gotta see that.
It's intense.
Oh, yeah,
This
I gotta
case
see
is
that.
intense. And the Englewood PD is doing everything they can.
God, that's an entire story, man.
I
With
know.
the body cam.
But
at the
guess what?
parking lot.
This guy's facing a felony attempted assault on a peace officer. So he's living out in Jeffco on private property. Jeffco sheriff shows up. And they're like, what's going on? And he just gives himself up. And they take him to Jeffco, hold him there for a week, and then bring him out to Arapahoe and hold him for like 4 or 5 days before he even gets in front of a judge in Arapahoe. He has no idea what his charges are when he comes over here to Arapahoe. I mean, I think he's had a shit ton of rights violated from the get-go. But the problem is they've got this felony case on him for attempted assault on assault on a peace officer, felony assault on a peace officer, and they put that dude on the max floor over there in Arapahoe. I meant to tell you that they put him in with the hardcore dudes that were in there for murder and all that shit. For this,
Because he was there on a felony case?
no, for felony assault on a peace officer.
Oh, that's why.
Mhm.
So he was probably in the red then.
Yeah,
like
he
23
was.
and 1.
He was.
Dang.
Yeah. And all that body cam footage shows these cops just beating the shit out of him. Just beating the shit out of him. And they turned around and said that he assaulted them and tried to run him over. It's all over fucking body cam. So this guy's gonna have to fight this, go to trial. His trial's set for September, right? I'm getting him to court because he's got no transportation. So I take him to all his court cases.
Did you talk to his public defender yet?
No, I'm not going to get involved.
Okay.
No.
Well, hopefully she does a good job, doesn't screw this up.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
'Cause, you know, there's lots of cases like this. It's not like this is
Oh, I
like
know.
the ones that Regan and I talk about. She tells you, like, that's just the only ones. I mean, this happens all the time. It's just what we find out about. That's it.
And this poor guy, he was reaching out to me. He and the girl he was with kept emailing me. She talked to me right away. He kept emailing me. He's like, I don't know what to do. I need help. I'm living homeless, first of all. And, you know, so I built this rapport with this guy. When people are bullshitting me and they've done some bad shit, they don't stick around. And this guy just kept coming back and coming back. So I knew this was as bad as it was. And everything that guy said from the very first time he started emailing me has been the truth. This guy literally faces prison
Oh, a lot.
for this.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Jail, prison.
And this is very freaking sad because this dude is one of the nicest, most helpful guys
Right. And
that I've ever
the thing
met.
too, because I saw the video, was just he just knew his rights.
Yep.
And that's all it was. That's all it took for this cop to just power trip and freak out on him. Is
Yep.
the fact that he knew his rights and he wasn't going to show ID. It doesn't matter. You know,
Yep.
he didn't see him driving the van.
Like DirectD said, the only crime that Englewood had on him was they could have towed his vehicle for it being in the city parking lot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
You know, but he would have had to watch his car, his home, get towed, right? And so they never really told him that he was being detained, so he got in his vehicle and tried to leave, and they tased him, and yeah, they even tased him in the middle of all that, and then beat the hell out of him. And one of the cops in that body cam footage, hey, how are you? Good, thanks. Is seen reaching around, taking the cop's body cam off of the front of him.
What?
Yep, and the body cam goes completely black, and then when he takes off, he's got his body cam back on. It's all there. It's all there. It's really, really bad. So, who knows what kind of jury this poor guy's gonna get, right?
Well, it's sad that they're even taking it to the jury trial. You know what I mean?
It may not. I mean, we'll see.
Well, a lot of times, I wonder if it was being a high-profile case like this, assault on a peace officer. I would think the DA would have looked at the body cams by now, but you know, a lot of times it's true, they don't really look at stuff until they have to look at it,
Mhm.
unfortunately. So hopefully she'll look at it, or he, and will just be like, this is stupid.
I know. And he doesn't want any plea deals. He's
Oh, good for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, to a point, Christopher, because if the dude doesn't want to go to trial and get convicted on those charges, this is one of those cases where you have to look at it all, but he won't. I mean, I think he's going to go do the time. And I don't want to see him do that because the system is fucking corrupt.
I think he'll be all right.
I don't know.
If anything, if he had to beat it in an appeal process, I bet you he could.
They'll take him straight to jail upon conviction.
But I mean, he'll still be able to appeal.
Yeah, but look, then you sit in jail, he's gonna lose all his shit.
I know.
It's not like this guy has anything anyway. He minds his own business in his own stuff. He's got his animals with him. He takes care of them. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. It just...
That's sad.
And you come here and you talk to this fucking stupid city council about how out of control their police department is. And you can't even get the mayor to say, you know what, Miss Benson, I can't comment on ongoing investigations. He's not even fucking smart enough to say that.
But he addressed all the...
Everybody else.
The grass is just a little patch of grass there. Like, all that was really important to him. But
Uh-huh.
the most important thing that was brought up tonight was the thing that you brought up. You just skipped right past it.
Yeah.
And then when you say, hey, what about me?
He starts stumbling all over himself. Don't interrupt the meeting. Maybe I should just wait out here and just ask him, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? These fucking people, they're dirty, they're evil, they don't give a shit. And Joe, Joe's leader of the pack. But Nathaniel, he's got to kind of make face as the mayor. But they're all in it together. I mean, we know that.
All that whole left side is like all one
Yeah.
group, right?
Yeah.
It's Steve, Noonenkamp, the mayor, Nathaniel, and
Ward.
Yep. That four.
Yep.
And then, but it's only 7 people on council, and three ladies on
And
the right.
Praying is she's voted with those
she
guys
has?
every time.
Oh, she has.
Yeah, she just got pissed off about the public comment stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think she had some friends that want to make public comment online, and she didn't like how they were acting one night and looked to me like she thought they were being bullies, so she wanted to exert some girl power, but she's voting with them on everything. So, I mean, just because she sits in between Rita Russell and Kim Wright definitely doesn't mean she's with them. I mean, Kim Wright and Rita Russell are solid. I think they're solid on the issues. I think Rita Russell's been on council for a very long time. She's termed after this.
The longest of all.
Yeah, and she knows this city inside and out. She's seen this city in every shape and form. And so I think she's starting to realize that the police aren't who she thought they were, if you will. Right? Well, but when you spend your whole life being being a bootlicker, and then you've got, somebody conservative like me who agrees with you on everything except your inability to look at what the fuck's going on with the police.